Froot Loops Mead, revisited with some corrections. Hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Derica, and you're watching City Steading. To learn to grow and brew and take control of your food, hit subscribe now. And don't forget to like and comment on our videos and hit the bell icon so YouTube will know to let you know when we have something new to share. Like today, we've had some comments saying that they too were trying a wild ferment, which is what our Froot Loops Mead is.
And a lot of people have been asking how it's going.
And they were having difficulties. Well, guess what? We're having difficulties. Why is that? Well, the reason is wild fermentations are just that, wild.
And
They're
unpredictable.
very, very unpredictable. So for us, Brian did a gravity reading, and what has occurred thus far?
All right, so when we made it, it was 1.110. Okay, that means it should come out to somewhere in the like 12 or so % alcohol range, which wild yeast can range. Okay, they could be anywhere from like 3 or 4% up to 10%.
I'm going to interrupt Brian real quick right now because this totally reminded me of another comment that I've seen where people were confused about their hydrometer reading.
Oh, yeah.
When you take your initial hydrometer reading, it's going to let you know what your potential alcohol percentage will be. The key word to focus on here is potential. That doesn't mean that your beverage is going to be that much alcohol.
Or that it has that much already.
It just
Gotten that
means
one too.
that it has the potential to have that much
If
alcohol
it went to
in it.
fully dry. So forget that part of the hydrometer. Just look at the scale, the 1.00 whatever numbers. Ours started at 1.110. When I tested it after about a month, it was at 1.070, which is only a 40-point drop in a month. That's not much. That means this has maybe 5 to 6% alcohol in it, which tells me maybe this wild yeast can only go about that high. That leaves this very sugary. We tasted it. It's very sugary. It's an interesting flavor. It's actually not bad, but it's just overly sugary. It doesn't taste as good as it should. So I decided we're gonna fix it. Sometimes wild yeast works great, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it didn't do the job that I needed to do. So what I did is I grabbed some Safe Veil SO4, okay, which is a 10% tolerance yeast. I made more of the lemongrass tea, which Derek is drinking the excess of, and I hydrated my yeast in that, okay? So, because I thought it didn't really have enough lemongrass flavor either, so I wanted more of that. I saw that I got a pretty good amount of headroom in here. I could fill some more liquid in there. So, real simple, take the lid off. Hold on to that for me if you would, please. And give it a smell. It smells like lemongrass and yeast, kind of. It doesn't really have a lot of the strong flavors that I was hoping for. I'm going to take this, I'm going to pour it right in. What I'm doing is giving it a stronger colony of yeast now to work from, so that hopefully, actually I want to mix that. Can you get the stirring whip? I'll hold this. I'm giving it a stronger colony of yeast to work from, so that hopefully it'll reinvigorate a fermentation and finish out in the 9 to 10% range, thereby giving us, you know, a nice mead at 9 to 10%. And yes, I am stirring this up.
This is something to keep in mind when you combine yeasts. If you combine yeasts, and we've seen on other brewing groups where people are like, oh, I combine these two yeasts to get this new strain. I'm sorry, that's really not how it works.
Only one.
What happens is the dominant, the most strong strain of yeast will take over. End
Yeah,
of
they'll
statement.
starve out the other one.
So you're not creating something new, which would be super cool. You're just going to feed the less dominant yeast to the dominant yeast.
You really didn't want all this tea, did you? The more tea flavor I can get in this, the better. I'm also stirring this up real good. I'm trying to get a little air into it, a little oxygen to get the colony going again. I'm treating it almost like it's a brand new fermentation, because in a way it is. But I'm stirring up the least, I'm getting everything going. So any amount of nutrient that's in here, any amount of anything that's in here is gonna start working, okay?
And this is because we added a new strain of yeast one, because of what we've tested thus far and seen thus far, we know is going to be the dominant yeast. It's going to take over any of the wild yeasts in there, and it's going to do its thing. So we're not concerned about the addition of oxygen. We actually wanted to add some oxygen in there to help this yeast get going, but we should start seeing activity
It was still
by
active.
the end of today.
In the airlock, it was still slightly active. There was definitely pressure coming from inside the vessel. Now, was that just off-gassing? I can't really say. But if there was off-gassing, at some point there was fermentation, which I know there was because I tested the gravity. But if you watch, that is actually starting to go down already. So there's actual off-gassing happening, which means the fermentation is still going. But those new yeasts within 24 to 48 hours should kick into high gear and take over. And this should look like an active fermentation again. And we'll check back with it in another week or two maybe. And when it's ready to be wrapped.
A quick note, I don't know if Brian mentioned it or not. When you make the tea, you want to make sure the tea cools enough before you add your yeast.
It was 105 degrees when I put it in.
Because if it's too hot, then that will damage or potentially kill
you do not
your
want
yeast.
it to be above 110 degrees.
And then the whole thing will be for waste.
If you don't remember how to make the tea, it's in the original Froot Loops video, which we may have already linked here, so I can't link them twice, they don't let me. But essentially it was a bunch of lemongrass cut up, put into water. We did have lemon in it too? Or was it just straight up lemongrass?
I
I'm
don't
not sure.
recall. But our second tea was just lemongrass.
Yeah.
And water.
That's all I got.
That's it.
Just wanted to update you guys and show you not everything works every time, but here's how to fix it when it goes wrong. Thanks guys, have a great day.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you want to learn to grow and brew and take control of your food, hit the subscribe icon down below and don't forget to hit that little bell. That way you get notified of everything we do. And if you really like what we do, consider becoming a patron. Information in the descriptions of all of our videos. Thanks guys, have a great day. Don't drink all that. That's for the stuff. I might need that.
Oops.